Now let's say you've been injured in a car crash that's not your fault. You've got medical bills to pay. You've got wages you've lost from work. You've got to feed your family. How much is all of this going to be worth? How does it all work? This video is going to explain to you how you can get a $100,000 settlement in a motor vehicle crash. This is a series of videos designed to help you understand and navigate personal injury law. I often talk about car crashes, such as in this video, but I also talk about unsafe products, such as in this video. So if you want to learn more about personal injury, then click on the subscribe button, click on the bell to make sure you get notifications of when new videos come out, and check back to this channel regularly. I've been fighting for people injured in car crashes and falls and by unsafe products for over 25 years. I'm here to help keep you informed and help keep you safe. So let's review here. Obviously, you're in a crash that's not your fault. As I've talked about before, make sure that you've contacted the police, make sure that you've gotten medical treatment, you've contacted your insurance carrier, and make sure you've contacted a lawyer, especially if you've been seriously injured. I go over that in this video right here, the steps that you need to take. So, what does a $100,000 settlement look like? I think the first myth that I have to debunk with most of my clients is that liability is the end-all and be-all. If we just say, well, the other person's clearly at fault for this and they should just make a payout here. It's not that simple because that's not going to be the only defense in most cases that the other driver has, especially if we're talking about a lawsuit. Now the first line, depending on where you're watching this, even if you're 1% liable, that may in your state be a bar to recovery. You may have to demonstrate that the other side was 51% at fault for the crash to get a recovery. So check with a lawyer. If you're not in New York State, check with an attorney and find out and make sure that you understand those comparative or contributory fault statutes is what they're known by. In New York State, the recovery is reduced by the amount that you are at fault. So if you are quite a bit at fault, it's not a bar to recovery. But again, it's not enough to say, well, it's the other person's fault, pay up. Do you have any questions at all about what to do in a personal injury case? Leave them in the comments below. I read the comments pretty regularly, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So obviously we need to prove liability within your state. You are going to want to show through your medical treatment and make sure that you get consistent medical treatment and you follow your doctor's advice. I wouldn't advise calling your lawyer to say, what should I do? What's going to increase the value of my case? It's a kind of a bush league thing to do. If you called me and asked me that question, if you were my client, I'd tell you, well, what is your doctor telling you to do? Do that. Follow your doctor's advice. Get the treatment that he or she recommends for you. Demonstrate that serious injury, especially if you have a fracture or a spinal injury that has a surgical aspect to it. That's going to increase the value. That gets you over that $100,000 hump in most cases. If you have a traumatic brain injury that causes a permanent cognitive disability, that's going to get you over the hump. If you have a rotator cuff tear that requires surgery, that's another one with some value. If you have knee surgery, that can also increase the value. A surgical injury is obviously a more valuable injury because it's a more recovery time for you, a significant more amount of pain. So what you're going to want to show is you meet that serious injury threshold, but also that you have a significant amount of conscious pain and suffering, whether that's in the past, current, and also your future pain and suffering. Are you going to need a revision down the line? Are you going to need more spinal surgeries? Oftentimes with your cervical herniated discs, the levels below the surgery get compromised and the surgeon has to go back in and do an additional surgery. So those are the kinds of things that are going to increase the value of the case. The last thing that we also need to consider here is lost wages. You're going to want to demonstrate how much work time you've lost, how much you've actually lost out of your pocket. You're also, depending on how severe the injury is, your attorney may hire an economist to determine whether you're going to suffer a decrease in income throughout your life. If you're permanently disabled, then we're going to have to look at how much you would have earned over the course of your life, and that's another portion of your damages that again can get you over that $100,000 hump. So we're looking at three aspects here. We're looking at the liability, making sure that we have good liability in the case. We're making sure that the injury is severe enough, that it's caused enough, as they say, pain and suffering to warrant a significant recovery. And we want to look at how much you've lost in wages. And that can also drive a recovery. Now, one caveat to all this is you have to understand that oftentimes you are limited to what the other driver's insurance policy is. Now, in New York State, the minimum coverage that you have to have is $25,000 per person injured in a crash and $50,000 per occurrence. So even if your case is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, if the driver only has $25,000 of insurance, that's all you're going to get. So when we talk about a $100,000 insurance policy, we're talking about a common insurance policy that most people who work and own a car and use that car to get to work have on hand. And there are $100,000 per person, $300,000 per occurrence policies. That means that you want to up your uninsured, underinsured motorists. You want to make sure you can get as much coverage for that as possible, because if you are injured in a crash by somebody with a small amount of insurance, that may barely pay your medical bills. So make sure you check with your insurance rep and see how much coverage you have. And it doesn't cost a lot to up that underinsured, uninsured motorist coverage, but do so. Make sure that you've got $250,000 per person, $500,000 per occurrence at a minimum. If you can get more, get more. If something bad happens, and again, an uninsured driver or a driver with a very small insurance policy causes a crash and you're injured and you can't work anymore, you want to make sure that you've got that recovery. If you want to learn more about personal injury law, I've got this free PDF, and you can use the email address below to make sure that you get your hands on a copy. Also, if you are injured in a crash or in a fall or by an unsafe product, contact me at the email address below or at my website, www.jeffmarionlaw.com, and I'll sit down with you for free and go over your case with you. If you enjoyed this topic, click on the like button. Make sure that you smash that subscribe button, as the kids say. I've got that here on the screen for you. Check out the other video here that might interest you. And check back regularly with me, and we'll see you in the next video.